So this Subaru is in, as like I say, it's got to have a replacement clutch. Now I have just pulled away as I'm quickly just taking it down the road just to see how bad it is. What is that beeping at me? Seatbelt. Okay, if we must. Thank you. But yeah, the clutch is actually quite bad. Now Shane did say that it is slipping. So let's see if it will warm up a little bit, because I don't really want to put my foot down with a cold engine. But I also do want to see if it is slipping, because the pedal is quite high. Like, it is very high, to be honest. Like, it's pretty much at the top of the biting point. Now the biting point should be at the bottom, so that's why I'm assuming it is going to be slipping quite bad. There's a lot of trucks here today. A lot of trucks. That's right at the top, that is. Wow. That is very, very at the top. I mean, I wonder if it'll... I am just coming up to a speed bump, so I wonder if it'll... If I put the camera down here, you might be able to see. Still not moving. Started moving. That is where, like, we're literally right at the top of that pedal travel. Put the window down so we can hear it a little bit better. That's a nice sounding window. Can you see? I'm trying to right at the top. Wow. Yeah, that is slipping. That is slipping quite a lot. That's rough. Into second. Oh, let's see if it slips. Ready? Yeah, that is definitely slipping. Shane, how on earth have you been driving around in this? How is it possible? Got a bit of an exhaust blow as well, so I think we'll check that out. That clutch is fucked. So, I think there's only one thing left to do, and that's to get it back up in on the ramp. We can get the gearbox out of it, and then we'll be able to see just how bad this so I'm trying to make sure I don't run anyone over. We can see just how bad this friction disc is going to be, because I'm going to assume it is absolutely screwed. So now that we've got it into the workshop, the first thing that we need to do is we need to gain some access to round the back down here, as we've got to get off the starter motor, we've got the slave cylinder, we've got the earth strap, we've got some wiring, and we need all of that off and out the way to be able to remove the gearbox from the engine. Now, the only way that we're going to be able to do that is by removing the top mount intercooler and the recirc pipe work and these pipes here, and we're going to do that by undoing the Jubilee clip from the throttle body. We've got one mounting bolt there for the cooler. If I bring the camera around, we've got another mounting bolt just here, and on the front of the intercooler we've got one bolt there and one bolt there for that little bit of pipe work. And then, like I say, we will have that off and out the way, and then we'll have the access that we need to get the slave off, the starter motor, the earth strap, the wiring, yada yada yada. So I don't think this is going to get itself stripped, and we haven't really got any time to waste as time is pressing, and I have got a lot of things to do this week. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So before we can go underneath and remove things like the exhaust and the drive shafts, we need to remove the intercooler and all of the various parts in the engine bay. So first off is the intercooler by removing the recirc valve, the mounting bolts, along with the intake pipe, and fishing out the servo pipe which sits at the bottom of the intercooler itself. So now that we've gained access to the top of the gearbox, first I need to remove the starter motor. Starter motor removed. Then I unbolt and remove the turbo heat shield. Then next up it was the slave cylinder. Then I unbolted the upper rear mount along with some of the wiring loom, not forgetting the earth strap which is bolted to the bottom of the bulkhead. Next up with the upper gearbox or bell housing bolts, as it's much easier to access them now rather than from underneath the car. So with those removed, it was time to get this Scooby up into the air, get the wheels removed,
Then I wanted to undo the drive shaft nuts, hoping and praying that the shaft wouldn't be seized into the hub.
Please don't be seized. Please don't be seized. Not seized!
Now luckily both of those nuts were not seized, so with both of those off, next up it was the strut bolts. And after a good scrub with a wire brush to remove some of that rust, I got both of the bolts removed, and then I removed the drive shaft from the hub. And after repeating the process on the other side, it was then time to get under the car and remove the shafts from the front diff. Now with both of the shafts out and on the floor, and what was left of the oil draining out of the diff, next up was the exhaust, or more specifically, the downpipe. So with that off and out the way, next up it was the heat shield, so that I had access to the lower gearbox mount, but before removing that, I drained the gearbox of its oil, trying not to make a mess in the process. So while letting the gear oil drain, I removed the rear prop shaft bolts from the diff along with the centre bearing bolts, and then I removed the shaft from the gearbox itself. Now next up are the gear linkages. Now this clip is very fiddly, as you'll be able to see, and if you are like me and you do drop it, 1, make sure you find it, and 2, make sure you keep it safe. So with the clip nice and safe and the cable removed, then I undone the bolt through the stabiliser part of the selector, but before we can remove this arm, I did have to undo the lower gearbox mount from the floor of the car, and after getting this undone, along with a few more bolts, I removed it from the gearbox too. And that's it, pretty much ready to come off of the engine. All we have left are the lower and the side bell housing bolts. So I refitted the gearbox oil drain plug, wiped away the dribble, and then removed all but one of the bell housing bolts, making sure that we had one left, just to make sure that while I was putting my hand up to the top of the gearbox to remove the clutch fork, as we need to remove this, otherwise we won't get the gearbox off at all, it wasn't going to drop and crush my arm. So with the clutch fork out, all we had left to do was undo that last bolt, and then I could lower the gearbox down onto the trolley, and after a bit of a wiggle, I could then get the car sent up into the air, leaving me with a removed gearbox. Now all we had left to do was to remove the clutch from the flywheel itself. Now it did put up a bit of a fight, as you can see, but finally we got it removed.
Come on, thank you. Jesus, thank you. How bad is it? Oh damn. Oh damn.
But before we see just how bad this clutch actually is, let me tell you about today's video and this channel sponsor, Holy. So Holy are an alternative to the conventional energy drinks and the soft drinks that we can already buy in the shops today. Just with one big difference. Grab these. And the biggest difference is Holy isn't packed full of sugar and all the nasty harmful things that you don't want flying around inside your body. Holy is packed full of natural vitamins, electrolytes, and a slow energy releasing ingredient called Nucaf, which, like I say, will release that energy into your body a lot slower, giving you the energy that you need for a lot longer. And it's really simple to make. All you need to do is you just pick your chosen flavour, pull out 1 scoop of said flavour, put it into your cup. Then all you have to do is grab some water, pour in 500 ml so that the cup is full. Once you've got the cup full, you grab your lid, pop the lid on, give it a good shake. And after giving it a good shake, you are pretty much ready to drink. That one's nice. So if you're just like me and another 1 million happy Holy customers and you want to start your Holy journey today, all you've got to do is follow the code in the description below and use code TDM5, which will save you £5 off your first order, and use code TDM, which will save you 10% off every order after that. So now that I've finished my Lion's Lemonade, which is a personal favourite of mine, and I'm feeling fully re-energised and like I've got all the energy that I need to go and crack on with this Subaru, I think that's exactly what we'll do now. So again, thanks Holy, link is in the description below, but I think it's time we go and see how bad this clutch actually is. So that is the gearbox removed from the engine, and we've also got the clutch off, as you've just seen. So if you take a look here, this is the friction disc, and as you can see, if I bring the camera in, we are pretty much down to the rivet heads, where we actually are scraping through the rivet heads on that pressure plate. And have we got any hot spots on here? It's quite hard to see because it's filthy, and I'm not going to waste my time cleaning it because it's going to go in the bin anyway. But that is no good, that is also no good, and that will be the reason why we have got a slipping clutch. As what happens is this material here, instead of gripping, it is just slipping round as you're accelerating, and that is the reason why the revs were flying up, as you've seen earlier on in the video, and why the car wasn't moving anywhere. So now we've got that out, if I bring the camera over here, you'll see in this box that I have already opened because I've checked, we've got a alignment tool there with, I think that's a bearing. We've got a release bearing there. We've got a new friction disc just there, and as you can see all the material, the difference in thickness, we've got that there. And if we come back over to here, we have got that there, which is completely flat. So that is going to mean that we're going to be able to sort of get the power down as we should be able to. So we'll pop him there, and underneath here we should have a new pressure plate, which we have got just there. So now all that I've got left to do is to put all of that new stuff back onto the engine. Once we've got all that on, we can get the gearbox back on. Hopefully the gear oil will turn up in time. If not, it's going to drag into tomorrow, but hey ho, there's only one way to know. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
So the rebuild process is the same as the strip down, only in the reverse order. So I've got the new clutch on, making sure it's central with the alignment tool. Then I lowered the car back down to the gearbox, got it refitted back onto the engine and tightened up using the lower and the side bell housing bolts. So after getting the gear selector and the lower gearbox mount refitted, I refitted the prop shaft. Then I refitted the drive shafts along with the nuts, making sure they were fastened up, and then moved on to getting the struts refitted as well. Then after refitting the downpipe and some of the wiring, I then moved on to refitting the front wheels. And once they were fitted, I refilled the gearbox with some fresh oil. Then I sent the car down to refill the diff with some fresh oil too. And with all the fluids refilled, I then bolted up the top bell housing bolts, the turbo heat shield, and after getting pretty much everything else refitted along with the intercooler, it was time to see if this Scooby would not only drive, but to see if we still had that slipping clutch. But as you'll see in just a moment, this test drive didn't really go to plan.
Straight away, it's 10 times better, a million times better. I've actually got a clutch pedal that feels like a clutch pedal. It's nice and light.
You've got to clutch the clutches?
We've got to clutch the clutches, that's right, yeah. Second, no slipping. Third, no slipping. No slipping. That is a job well done, I think. And obviously it's had the new gear oil, it's had new diff oil, pressure plate, release bearing, friction disc. Christ on a bike, what are you doing? Stupid knobhead.
That bit's getting cutted out, yeah?
No, yeah, we'll edit that bit out. So now we are finally out in the Subaru and we've got the new clutch fitted. I'm pretty sure it was a stage 2, I think it's RTX or TDX or something like that. I will put a link for them in the description below somewhere. But I'm pretty happy with how this Scooby is now driving. I mean, we've got a bit of a hill coming up in front of us, so if I drop it into third, we're at what, 4,000 RPM? And then if camera guy shows the bit of a hill and we accelerate up, we have got no clutch slip, we've got all the power, the car is driving absolutely perfectly. The biting point is no longer sort of up here when you're trying to pull away from a junction or just pull away in general. But I'm pretty sure that Shane is going to be happy with it. Well, are you happy with it? Shane is the guy behind the camera as we're speaking.
I'm over the moon with it, dude. A1 job as always.
Well, you're not even driving it yet either, so it's well, you have moved it a little bit actually.
I don't like being a passenger.
You did move it a little bit. We get a little bit of a scrape then.
I don't think it was just the wheel arch, dude.
I think it was the wheel arch, yeah. But yeah, that's definitely another job well done, I think. Slow down and let these people pass. Thank you very much. But yeah, so I think all that's left to do now is to get this Subaru back to the workshop. Shane can crack on with whatever he's got to crack on with for the weekend.
Now this is the part where things take an unexpected turn for the worse. Now the car was running fine and driving, as you could see, but all of a sudden we just had no boost. We had no smoke, no noises, just no boost. So there was only one thing for it, to get it back into the workshop. And what happened next? Well, let's see if you can guess, and drop a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think it is. And if you haven't already, you might as well go and hit that subscribe button, as it's totally free and it really helps me and this channel grow. But for now, let's go and see what has happened to this Subaru.
Right, have you got FaceTime?
I can have FaceTime.
Right, I've just clicked on FaceTime. You're going to want to see this. Right. Would you do me a favour, bro? Would you just bring that light and shine the light up here for me? Right, so we've got on the floor there the exhaust. All that's there. I've got that off. That is fine, look. Not a noise. Right. If I flip the camera around, how do we do that? It's like watching your granddad use the phone. That's your turbo.
Yeah.
Your turbo's gone.
Ah, fuck.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Oh, if I do this. Yeah. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah. That's...
Has it gone or salvageable gone?
Oh no, it's snapping off.
Okay then.
The actual shit. There's no oil anywhere. It's not gone as in like it's pissed oil out into the intercooler and all that stuff. It's literally just snapped the shaft cleaning off. Why? I have no idea. There's no reason. Like I'm underneath it now. That is up there. I'm here.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? There's no reason as to anything from here would be going into there. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. And what type of turbo do I need?
I ain't gonna be able to do anything now, but on Monday I'll get the specs from the turbo guy and all that sort of stuff, because they're dropping off one for the Audi anyway. So yeah, I'll see how much I can get one for, or a reconditioned one, because it'll be cheaper than a brand new one. Or it might be a case of I'll have to take this one off, give it to them, and then they'll recondition yours and bring it back. Do you know what I mean?
Okay then.
I think.
Is the car okay with giving till then?
Yeah. I just wanted, in my head, I just needed to know that it wasn't anything to do with that clutch. Like, and I've got all the intercooler off again. Well, I don't know, you might not be able to see. Yeah, all that's off. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got it all off. I've checked and checked again. And if I can pinch your light again a sec, if you look through there, you see the red?
Yeah.
If that was catching on anything, that'd have big shiny marks on it.
Yeah.
It's covered in dust, do you know what I mean? It's minging.
Yeah.
But that'll also explain, you know, just when I drove back up the road, it didn't feel as quick. That will explain it. And you know that noise that was like that sound? Like what's happening is when the car's boosting, or trying to boost, if I flick that camera again, when it's trying to boost, it's sucking that in and holding it tight. So then when you lift off, see how loose it is?
Okay then. Well, let us know on Monday then, dude.
It's, I know it's not ideal. It's fucking...
At the right place.
It's fucking bullshit, mate. Literal bullshit. You can't write it.
No.
You can't write it. But yeah, leave it with me. I'll do my best as always, and I'll yeah, if I can find out before, I'll find out before and let you know. And either way, I'll try and get a price on a recon one, so it's a bit fucking cheaper.
Okay, let us know. I'll have a look myself.
Yeah, man. I'm sure off the top of my head it's a TDO4, but there's different variants like 18T, 19T, 16T.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a 14T on the bar. 13T. So yeah, you know what I mean, there's variants, so I need to just try and see which one it is, and then when I know, I'll let you know, and we'll take it from there.
Okay then, bro. See you soon.
All right. Sorry about this, but yeah, at least I know it's nothing to do with what I've done, so that takes that stress off it. But yeah, we can sort it, no stress.
That's no problem.
All right, bro. All right, same man. See you later, bro. Try, man. Ciao. Well. So, if you want to find out what happens to this Scooby, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you lot in the next one.
fucking mint. Your turbo's gone.